Well, a big ruling coming up this past week that we haven't talked about yet. Brad, the 5 for 5, they were trying to basically allow everybody 5 years to play, regardless if you're injured or not. You could play 5 seasons, but that's not going to happen, correct?
Yeah, they said it definitely won't happen for the next 2 years. So
Okay.
through the 2026-27 school year, it's not going to be in place. And it's very intriguing. Now, that's only one more year after this, right? But there's so much worry about, what the legal aspect of it is. They're going to get sued because if it's not consistent, so forth. So I think when it goes in place, it's going to have to be for kids that aren't in college yet, because then there's no way to make that happen. So if it happens, and maybe it starts with that class of 27 when they implement. Now, I do think the intriguing part is teams are going to recruit differently now. I think Illinois is going to go after some more guys now because they know they're going to lose a couple and they're going to lose a couple more. So they can add some more pieces now, maybe. And, and this sounds weird, but it frees up some cap space too, because, some guys aren't going to be back.
Yeah, it's hard to plan. You've got some teams that were thinking, next year is going to be great because we'll have a bunch of guys coming back. And you have other teams saying, oh my gosh, we'll have so many guys coming back. I won't know what to do. And depending on which camp you're in, you're like, oh my goodness, what happened? People like to have the ability to plan on what's going on in the future. And the NCAA hasn't really allowed that to happen for the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, and I think the coaches too. It's got to be at least a relief for the moment. And Brad Underwood, we've heard him talk about that. Brett Bielema addressed it as well in terms of not knowing how to recruit kids. Like Brad mentioned, like, okay, do you go after 4 kids or do you go after one? Because right now you're going to lose 2 guys in Rickhouse and Boswell. Eligibility will be over. You may lose a couple other guys to the NBA draft, et cetera. So yeah, it does change things. There's no question. Guys, World Series going on. Dodgers are in, trying to become the first repeat champion since the Yankees back in 2000. Toronto joining Miami as the only teams with multiple trips without a loss. 2 trips to the World Series, 2 wins. Best of 7 series continues up in Toronto.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for them against Shohei Ohtani. George Springer, that home run the other night, that was just great baseball theater, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, just
yeah,
so much fun. And then, but Ohtani, how about his performance? I mean,
yeah.
throwing 6 innings, striking out 10, and hitting 3 home runs. It's not a bad day's work.
Yeah, those are like what you would expect out of a Babe Ruth, but even Babe Ruth never did that. So you're kind of going into. It reminds me of Gretzky when he was breaking all these records that we thought were impossible, and I feel like Ohtani is kind of this generation's Gretzky.
Yeah, he's a special player, and we're lucky to get a chance to see him play. Like you said, one of the all-time greats, like Wayne Gretzky. Let's get to college football now. Time now to make our picks. Last week we were in a bit of a hurry. We got really chatty and we're out of time, but we still each of us went 3-1. We each lost one game, a different game. But there you go. So there you go. We've got 4 games this week. Let's start with the Illini at Washington.
This is a very interesting game because if this game was in Illinois, I would definitely pick Illinois. But I think at Washington, it's a tougher game. But I am going with the Illini. I think they get the upset. They got a veteran team. I know we saw one really bad road game, but we also saw a nice win on the road too at Duke. So I think this is more like that one. I think the offense for Illinois will score against this Washington defense, and they'll do just enough to keep Washington honest offensively, and they'll get the win on the road.
On the Illini, we found out there's a lot of injury issues with the left side of Washington's offensive line. I think the Illini are going to pull this out, and Brett Bielema is 6-1 coming off of a bye week.
Wow. And how about that? Everyone talking about the former Illinois defensive coordinator, Ryan Walters, now out of Washington, his first year after 2 years at Purdue as a head coach. But guess what? Illinois put up 50 on Purdue last year. And I think they're a better offense this year. So I'm going to Illini as well. Brett Bielema, they roll on into November back on the winning track. Only losses to the top two teams in the country. Let's go to the SEC now. Ole Miss and Oklahoma.
Interesting. I thought Ole Miss was fantastic on offense until the fourth quarter, right? Against Georgia. But I think I think Oklahoma's got a really good defense. So I think they'll slow down Ole Miss offensively, but Oklahoma's offense is very questionable at this point. So I'm going to go with Ole Miss to get the win on the road.
I'm taking Ole Miss as well. I think Mateer came back too early, and I just think he's not back to where he was with that thumb or that surgery he had.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure Mateer is 100% in this, and Ole Miss. They want to come back and get something done after the loss last week. I'm going with the Rebels as well. Missouri and Vanderbilt.
I think Drinkwitz does a great job in Missouri. I really do. I think he's done a fantastic job. But I like Vandy. They're a team of destiny, baby. The Vanderbilt Commodores in Nashville take the win over the Missouri Tigers.
I agree with that. I think on the road, I think if that was it up in Columbia, I would be going the Missouri way, but I'm going to go with the home team, Vandy.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm a believer in Vanderbilt right now. I mean, the one loss at Alabama, no shame in that. They're an outstanding team. What Clark Lee has built, it's very James Franklin-esque in what they're doing there in Nashville. I'm going with the Doors, baby. Break on through to the other side. Okay, last game, Texas A&M, LSU.
Now, this one is a wild game because when Brian Kelly loses, I win, like in life. It's like a good day, right? So we all like that. Everyone's happy. But I don't know. I think that Brian Kelly's literally maybe coaching for, and I know people are saying they're not going to pay the buyout, but LSU loses 4 or 5 games here this year. It's conceivable he's done, or he's at least on the very, very hot seat. But I think LSU, I don't think A&M looked very good last week. I just think LSU finds a way to win this one. The Swamp is a really hard place, or down there in the Bayou is a really hard place to win.
Yeah, Brian Kelly's got a great record at night at LSU. I think LSU wins this.
I'm going to go A&M 8-0. I talked with the voice of the Aggies, Andrew Monaco, earlier this week on the Sports IQ show, and he said that he really is enjoying this time right now because Texas A&M, when they win, everyone gets ice cream on the plane ride home. And he said it's really good ice cream. So to our friend Andrew, he's a friend of all of ours. Hope you get some ice cream, my friend. All right, we appreciate everybody stopping by. Once again, 2:30 p.m. Central Time is kickoff. Illinois,
Mike and I
Washington,
won
Bolter,
ice cream.
5-2.
Mike and I won ice cream. Always.
Let's go in the orange room here in the state-of-the-art IlliniGuys studio, so we can find some in the fridge.
There we go. I'm in.
We need Jarlings to give us some stuff.
There you go. That's right. We got to run. Enjoy the games. We'll see you next weekend. ILL.
Aye, aye.